Here's a GRE word problem. Let's take a look. Omar is offered a 3% interest rate on a new car loan, which would result in a monthly payment of $540. This payment is 10% lower than he would owe if he borrowed the money at 7%. Which of the following is closest to the monthly payment amount on a loan with 7% interest? All right, I can hear Dave Ramsey like screaming from his TikTok channel at me on this one, but let's all calm down. It's just a math problem. And here's the thing. There's a lot of extraneous information here, information that we don't really need. For example, right, the interest rate doesn't really matter. We might as well just call this low and high because I'm not actually doing any math with the interest rates. Let's just call it the low interest rate and the high interest rate. What this problem is telling me is that the monthly payment on the low interest rate is $540. And I want to figure out the monthly payment on the high interest rate. That's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm also told that the low interest rate is 10% lower, or excuse me, the monthly payment is 10% lower on the low interest rate loan than it is on the high interest rate loan. Now, a lot of people will look at this problem and say, oh, well, that's easy. To find this is minus 10%. I'm just going to increase this by 10%. And that gives me 598, but it doesn't work. And here's why. Take another example. If you have $100 in the stock market and you lose 50%, and then you gain 50% back, are you back where you started? No, you're not, right? If you started at 100, you lose 50%, you're down to 50. You gain 50%, you're back up to 75. So I can't just take the lower value and increase it by 10%. That doesn't work. Instead, what I'm going to have to do is a little bit of algebra. So here's what I'm going to do. The high interest rate minus 10% of the high interest rate, right? A way to do that would be to multiply this by 0.9. I'll explain that in just a second, is equal to 540. Think about it this way. If I'm taking away 10% of something, how much is left? 90%, right? So effectively what I'm saying is that the low interest rate, the monthly payment on the low interest rate is 10% lower than the high interest rate. And that's why I can set up this equation. And I have a calculator, so that's nice. H is equal then to 540 divided by 0.9. You do the math, comes out to 600 on the nose. Correct answer here is C. For more GRE tips and tricks or to sign up for my online course, follow the link on my profile.